Hey guys, backyard from a pad here. It's January 2023. I'm in Zone 9B, Central Florida. And guys, I want to give you a quick tour of my veggie garden so you can see what I've been planting. And I also want to show you some things that I planted for the very first time right there. That is absolutely doing awesome. So let's get started, guys. 2023 veggie garden tour, January. All right, so the first bed I'm gonna start at is this little 3x3 bed that I planted right outside my patio. As a matter of fact, right beside my limes that are doing really well. So guys, these are my mustard greens. Before I had turmeric and ginger here, and I harvested them and I actually transplanted them into some pots because I wanted to have my veggies close to the garden. So far these are doing absolutely wonderful. If you remember that video I did a couple months back where I showed you how to replenish the soil, and I actually took some of my mustard greens that were in another bed and transplanted them here. And guys, just in those 2 months, look how huge these mustard greens are, and they're absolutely delicious. So that's my mustard green garden. Then over here in my veggie bed, of course, I removed my passion fruit. I cut it all the way back, replaced the arch going into the garden. So now we have three beautiful arches where we'll be planting a whole lot of, or growing a whole lot of different foods. So over here we have quite a few little, these are just volunteers. Some bok choy is coming up here. You can see I have several little bok choys coming up. So I actually didn't even need to plant any more bok choy over here because I've already harvested bok choy. And look there, guys. I have bok choy popping up all throughout this garden. And these are just from the seeds that fell last year. The funny thing is I hardly got any bok choy off my plants last year. They just didn't do well. But for some reason, the seeds that fell are doing better than the ones that I had planted last spring. So in this bed over here, now that we got rid of the passion fruit vine, I'll be able to like remove some of this dried up oregano. This is the common oregano that you see in the supermarkets. This is the regular oregano, but over this side I have a ton of oregano, and you can see the difference. This is the side that got the sun, and look how much oregano this is. This is more oregano than I could possibly eat. Then right beside it, right in front of it, this is another volunteer. This is a Florida mustard greens that popped up from last year. You can still see over here lots of little volunteers. I have my Cuban oregano still going strong. Several of you have put in orders for Cuban oregano, and I believe we're just about done with orders for now. I'm gonna wait for it to replenish itself before I sell any more Cuban oregano. Right in front we have our rosemary, and it's huge. It's doing very well. I'm probably gonna harvest some of this and dry it, and so I can have some dried rosemary. Right beside my rosemary is my dill. This was a transplant. I got a little sucker, I think from Home Depot or Lowe's or Publix, probably from, not Publix, either from Walmart or Home Depot, but it's a bunny plant and it's doing extremely well. But I planted this maybe, I would say a month or two ago. But then guys, look here. All of this, I have several dill plants that are popping up from last year's dill. So I literally could have just waited and I would have gotten dill, but I didn't realize that this was gonna pop up. But I'm gonna have lots of dill here. Behind my rosemary, I have a culantro. That right there, you see the culantro plant, and that is similar to cilantro in taste. This is a pretty big one. I've been using it quite often. It's really good in soups, and I'm using it mainly in soups. So guys, here is my first time. This is what I wanted to show you guys. This is my very first time planting broccoli. And I got a 6-pack of broccoli starts for $4 at Walmart. They were little tiny starts, and I planted 3 under the castor bean plant, and then I planted these 2 here. I actually planted 3 here. One was really struggling with disease. I pulled that one out. But guys, look at the size of these broccoli heads. This is more than ready to harvest. This is my hand. And guys, look at the size of this broccoli head. Look at the size of this. This is absolutely beautiful. This is my very first time attempting to grow broccoli, and I would say this is a huge success. I'm gonna go ahead and harvest this probably today. I'm gonna harvest this today. Probably make some shrimp and broccoli for dinner. And from what I heard from Sherry from Black Tropical Homestead, she said that the leaves are also delicious. Um, I've read online that broccoli will give several heads, so I think I'm just gonna harvest the head for now, and then I'm gonna see if more heads form. They said it can form 2 or 3 different heads. So once you harvest the head in the middle, the offshoots, there'll be offshoots along the side to give me more broccoli. This one here could get bigger. It's already a good size. I may leave this one and let it get a little bit bigger and eat it for another meal. I think this will be more than enough for me and my husband to eat. I also have the 3 that I had planted over by the castor bean. I just transplanted them back here because I figured, they would do better here in the full sun. So these are still pretty small. Let's go over here and see it. So these are still pretty small. But look here, guys. This one is actually trying to form a head. So we'll see how that does. It's actually, let me see right here. If you look right here, it's actually trying to form a little head. This one isn't forming anything yet, but I would say this is a big win. So over here in this garden, I have, I believe I had planted some bell pepper, some seed. Yes. So here you can see I have some bell peppers coming out. Yep, these are definitely bell peppers. There's lots of blossoms on here, so I'm pretty happy with my bell pepper. Here you can see most of the tomatoes you see in the garden, or probably all of the tomatoes, are volunteers from previous growing seasons. So this is a volunteer tomato that popped up from last year. I think these beds have like a ton of volunteers. A volunteer peppers right here. This is a volunteer comfrey, because I had a comfrey plant in the middle. Somehow the comfrey popped up here. I'm probably going to transplant that into a pot. And look here, guys. Look at all these volunteers. Volunteer tomato. Volunteer, what is this? Snap peas. I think they call these snap peas. It's tiny and it's full of leaves. What do you call it? Like needs some copper or something, but actually has a little pea on there. And then over this side, this is where I planted my row of volunteer tomatoes. So they really took a really hard hit during the frost. They had kind of, dried up and burnt up during the frost. I cut them back. Some of them look better than others. Like this one looks decent. It's blossoming. See quite a few blossoms over here. I still haven't eaten any tomatoes from it, so I don't know what the tomatoes are. Oh, actually, look. We have some tomatoes here. So they're probably cherry tomatoes, some kind of cherry tomato. I know I planted sweet 100s last year, and they were very prolific. So I hope they're sweet 100s. I probably cut it back some more, and then like this one is very spindly. I probably cut this back and let it get back thick, because this is going to be really great once they grow and grow over the arch. So I want healthy tomatoes, so I'll probably cut these back. So behind the tomatoes, I have curly leaf kale, and I haven't eaten this yet. Subscriber Johnny brought me some kale, so let me try this. So I have my, is this curly leaf kale? No, curly leaf mustards. This is curly leaf mustards. It's good. It's good. Wow. Ooh, it's strong. It has a strong flavor, very strong. Ooh, it almost burns. Ooh, wee. Ooh, wee. Ooh. Oh, man. Very strong mustardy flavor. So it's not mustardy. I would call it just like my Florida broadleaf mustard. It's a very mustardy, or it tastes like wasabi. It burns like if you eat wasabi. So if you guys have had sushi and you had that little green wasabi, I think you can probably blend that up and make wasabi because it tastes just like wasabi. Over here, all along here, I have my purple flesh Irish potatoes. And those shot up really quickly. I got the potatoes from the supermarket. I just bought purple flesh potatoes a few months back. And oh my gosh, look guys, look. And I planted potatoes. And look guys, you can already see little potatoes forming. Look at that. Already see little potatoes forming. But I don't want to uncover them yet. So I think I need at least, oh my gosh, look, potatoes are sticking out the ground. That is amazing. Look at that right here. It's a very dark purple Irish potato. So with potatoes, you wait until the leaves die back, and that's when you know the potatoes are ready. I wish I had planted more because I had planted them once. I had planted them for the first time last spring, and I got a whole lot of potatoes. I recorded the video, and somehow the video didn't I had hit record but it didn't record, so I messed up that whole video, so you guys didn't see it. So hopefully we can have a nice harvest from those 4 potatoes so you can see how many potatoes we get from planting just 4 purple Irish potatoes. Of course, right here I have a chamomile that's right under my broccoli. I have a chamomile here. I am thinking of planting. You guys let me know what you think, but I'm thinking of I'm gonna plant some beets along here. I don't like beets to eat. I don't just cut up beets and eat, but I love beet juice. I use organic beet juice in my morning shakes, and I really want to get back to having my morning shake every morning. And instead of me buying beet juice, I can grow beets and add beets to my shake. So definitely gonna do that. So over here is where I just harvested my my yellow and white African yams. My yellow yam or yellow Jamaican yam, white African yam, whatever, however you want to say it, but they're all originated in Africa. So I just harvested those. I just added some new soil to it because the soil is really depleted. And I have to decide. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna plant some more yams here, but yams can take months for the seeds to germinate. So I'm gonna plant some yams underground. But I think what I'm gonna do is transfer some of this food that I have in this other bed. Here, this is a bed that I literally, guys, I literally started this bed in October. I believe like October 1st, I started some seeds. And the seeds really, really struggled. Half of them just like the neck, as soon as seedlings started growing, they just broke. They did really, really bad. But I planted the seeds anyway, the seedlings anyway, even though they looked absolutely pathetic. And guys, that's why I tell you all the time, don't give up. Even if your seedlings don't look nice and perfect and pretty like some of the seedlings you see, on videos, don't give up. Put them in the ground and see what happens. So some of the seedlings didn't make it, and then I sprinkled some mustard green seeds, so at least I would have some food. But guys, look, whatever this is, I know it's something. It could be broccoli, it could be cauliflower. I'm not sure what it is, but I have several of them that popped up. It probably is broccoli. I'm not quite sure, but you can see within the mustard greens, there's lots of other plants popping up that aren't mustard. So I have to decide like very, very soon, like with maybe today, if I'm gonna transplant these to another bed, because I have 3 here, 1 here. I have these popping up throughout the bed. I may transplant them to a bed where they can spread, whatever the mystery plants are. If they're broccoli, they're definitely gonna need more space. But then again, guys, I cannot complain. Look at the size of this. Look at my hand. Look at the size of these leaves. Everything is growing extremely healthy, and whatever this is, it's growing extremely healthy. So if you guys know for sure what this is, let me show you what it looks like. If you guys know for sure what these are, please let me know. I would love to know for sure. But this is another thing that I'm growing for the first time. I've never grown that before. But the leaves have different shapes. So we have that shape, and then here we have some round leaves. So I know it's different kinds, different things that I'm growing up. So right beside it, I have my bok choy bed. So I have Shanghai bok choy, which is these bok choy here, and I have Tatsoy bok choy. And I have, what I did was this is the same day I planted seeds there. I transplanted seedlings there. I transplanted some bok choy seedlings, and most of them I didn't know were gonna make it. But guys, look, they all came up. They're all looking absolutely beautiful. Let's go to the other side. I have this Jewel of the Nile nasturtium. That's going to give me some beautiful flowers right in with the bok choy. Look at the size of this Shanghai, of this Tatsoi bok choy. It's huge. And when I look at the first center, I see it's about to go to seed. So I'm going to harvest this today. Also, the Shanghai bok choy right beside it is it's huge. This is ready to harvest, guys. So I'm already harvesting food. So I've harvested some bok choy. All my Baltic bok choy I've harvested. Well, some of them I've harvested, but I have all this bok choy coming up. When I've had friends come over and they've been able to, help me by thinning out by taking some of my bok choy, which I didn't mind sharing with them. So it worked out. So right at the side here, recognize those flowers, guys? Those are strawberries, and I literally ate a strawberry right before I started videoing. I should have waited, but you can see there are many more flowers coming out. See a couple more strawberries against right there against the wall. So this is my little row of strawberry plants. Then over here, this is a pot. These are the pots that I transplanted my turmeric and ginger into. Right now everything looks dead. The turmeric and ginger was already probably edible, but they were really small, so I put them back in the soil, hoping that they'll come back, hopefully they'll spring back in the spring and continue growing. Then here, guys, in that same video, the video where I showed you how to revamp the soil, I had revamped the old soil in these tiered pots. Remember, guys? But guys, look how good these plants are doing. Remember those little tiny bok choys that I've transplanted in the soil, in these old pots, the old soil that I revamped. Look at these bok choy, guys. They are doing extremely well. The tatsoys, those were there before. These are the garlic chives. And then, guys, look, these are the individual pots that I put the mustards in. Look at the size of these mustards. They are massive. They're doing so well. Then right in front of it, I have a peppermint. And over here, I have a spearmint or mojito mint. And then this is the second bok choy. This is the second stand that I have with the bok choys on top and some mustards along the side. So that is it for the potted vegetables. So all the potted vegetables are doing just as good, or probably even better than the ones in the ground. So this tells me, guys, that you don't need to plant in the ground. If you have a little patio, look at this. This is a very, very small area, maybe 2 feet wide. And guys, look how much food I have in a 2 foot wide section. This is a ton of food, guys. I have mint, I have mustard greens, I have toys, I have my garlic chives. You can have a very small 2x4 area and plant all the food. Picture you have these tiers. You can plant all this food right there on your patio, and it looks beautiful. It doesn't even look like you're growing food. It just looks, I think it looks absolutely beautiful. All right, guys, so I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, guys, go on out, plant some seeds today. Plant some seeds today. No matter if the seeds seem that they're struggling, just plant them, water them, and trust God for the growth. You can do it, guys. I did it. You see several of my first time items that I'm growing, and they're doing great. You can do it too. Shanghai bok choy is the first time. Tatsoi bok choy is the first time. You guys can do it. Till next time. Bye now.